Hello, everybody. My name is Phoenix Kawamoto. I'm the Community Education Coordinator here at the Town of New Paltz's Office for Community Wellness. Welcome to the 5th video as part of a 7-part series that is highlighting aspects of the Surgeon General's 2023 report entitled Our Epidemic of Loneliness and Isolation. This video, I'll be focusing my comments on 3 principal pathways to health, as well as some of the research that I've been recently discovering around the science of hope and looking at how we can connect some of those interdisciplinary dots that are being provided through various aspects of research, but also how we can make informed choices from that information to help support our own health and well-being, which for me is, I think, an important resource that the Office for Community Wellness can bring forth for our community. So as you look at the infographic image on the right of your screen, which comes from the Surgeon General's report, you'll see the 3 principal pathways with which I'll be speaking briefly about today: biological, psychological, and behavioral. You'll notice that the arrows are going to and from those different systems because, again, we have these multiple systems that have their specific functions, but they also are operating together and impacting one another. It's all connected, right? That's what we've been talking about. And so this report, if you were to use the link provided below and actually, have the time to read some of the more detailed scientific information, what research is showing is how these different systems are impacted by connection and then how they impact one another. So when we look at biological health and aspects of biological health, last video we talked about specific systems like the cardiovascular system. So in addition to that and impacts on blood pressure, heart health, we also have a circulatory system that is helping move stress hormones that are being released. And we also have systems that are involved in inflammation in the body. And we know that, thanks to the research that has been done over the years, that inflammation is involved in numerous chronic and serious illnesses. Research has shown that individuals who've experienced a lot of trauma, whether it is adverse childhood experiences, historical trauma, multi-generational trauma, or chronic toxic stress, have higher levels of inflammation and chronic illness as well. On the psychological level, there are many different factors that are involved and impacted in our experience and our perception of social connection and loneliness and isolation. If we have a strong sense of meaning and purpose, that helps buffer and motivate us. It helps us move towards things that are important, that nurture us, that help us be involved and engaged in our work life, academic life, families, the outer world of which we're a part of, our different communities. So there's that interplay between that social connection, perceived social connection, and how we are able to be involved in our world. And at the same time, how that connection impacts our physical health. We'll talk a little bit in a moment about not just sense of safety and motivation, but also resilience and hopefulness. And I'm going to save that part for the end because there's a new book that I've been reading, and the research that is part of that book, called The Science of Hope, has really given me a lot of food for thought, and I'd like to share a few parts of that learning with you as well. Last but not least, we see in this infographic, behavioral health is our ability to do the things that support our health and wellness. Physical activity and exercise, nutrition. What decisions and actions are we taking around how we choose to fuel this body? Decisions around and behavior around getting enough sleep and enough rest are all part of behavioral health. Our decisions and choices around our use of substances, accessing and utilizing treatment that's available for a particular health condition. All of those decisions are supported by feeling supported. We're more likely to engage in positive behaviors that support health and well-being when we feel held and supported by a social network. And I would like to remind folks that, in previous videos, we talked about it being about a quality of connection, not necessarily a quantity issue. We know from other studies that when people had just one person who they felt seen and heard by and loved by, that can make a tremendous difference. One person. So that is an important thing to keep in mind. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to take a moment just to talk about the science of hope. As I have been learning about this, it has been really exciting and interesting to me to think about, not just from my own personal journey, but also in my professional life and what has really driven me over the years as far as decisions and actions in the kind of work that I felt compelled to do as far as supporting individuals and supporting community. And in the science of hope, they talk about really three aspects. And that hope is not, we use it in the way of a wish. I hope this happens, or I hope that doesn't happen. But what they're talking about is actual scientific studies around a sense of hope and how that supports resilience, our ability to adapt despite hardship, adversity, and the presence or experiences of trauma that we may be enduring. So the three aspects of hope starts with goals and the ability to have goals. Goals, again, provide that sense of purpose and motivation, right? Go back to that psychological health aspect in the infographic image, right? And then hope needs what they call way power and willpower. So way power is being able to problem solve and identify the pathway to the goal, or pathways, because often, right, we encounter obstacles and there's a plot twist and suddenly we have to reevaluate and come up with a different plan. And then willpower in the sense of agency, our ability to stay motivated towards the goal. So goals, way power, and willpower. And one of the things that helps us have that ability to stay focused on the goal and stay motivated are our support systems and networks. Those people who see us, who cheer us on, who believe in our ability and our sense of passion and purpose. The work of this department continues to be how we can help bring information forward to help you make decisions and offer support for the ways that you can stay as healthy as possible and how you define health and wellness and well-being, because we're talking about it from a very holistic and whole person point of view. Please join me for the next video segment where I will be talking about how social connection benefits communities. And we know that when we strengthen the community, we're strengthening those who live within it. We are all in this together, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Thank you again for taking the time out to watch this video and for sharing the link and checking out the links provided for A, the Surgeon General's report in its entirety, and B, the accompanying infographic document created by Diane Fossey here at the Office for Community Wellness. Take good care, everybody. Bye-bye.